Okay, we need to do better because I'm
because,
never ready for that.
because that just cuts off. I just
Yeah,
like,
it's like so immediate. I'm
I'm
like,
like, wow, we
and
just,
do you know what? Just like this song cuts off, that's how fast I'll cut you out of my life. I mean,
mm-hmm.
not you, but it's just in general.
Just in general, yeah.
Just in
I totally
general.
understand. I totally understand. It's like, whoa, it's Monday already.
It's Monday, and this weekend went by so stinking fast.
Yeah. Did you have a 3 day weekend as well?
I did have a 3-day weekend, and like, what did I even do? Like, where did it go?
Right, exactly. I was like, I know. I was like, wait, was I busy this weekend? I think I was.
We were hella busy, like not doing anything productive. We were hella busy celebrating.
Yeah. So we partied a lot.
We partied all weekend long, is what we did. My
I
gosh.
know, right? And then people were like partied out.
Yeah. Yeah. You know who was partied out? My nephew was partied out. He did not have, he had an emotional day at school, so he had to cut it short. I'm like, I get you, baby. I get, I feel your pain. That's too much. It's too much on a body.
So was that Joseph?
Hmm. Yes, that sweet little
Oh, we
baby.
had so much fun, he and I.
Yes, yes. And I'm sure that's probably why he went home early. His back hurt. I have no doubt about it.
I was looking through the photos that I took this weekend, and I did not find any of him doing the dance. And I was
No.
so disappointed that I didn't get to see any.
And I, you know what? Maybe because I know I got I recorded a Snapchat of him.
Uh
Oh,
huh.
I didn't save it. Dadgummit. No, I didn't save it. I do that. I think that
Really?
I save stuff and I don't. So it'll pop up next year. And I'll be
Today's
like, "What?"
Monday, right? We're on the
Yeah.
right channel, right time.
I know we have one viewer.
It's like,
What? We have one viewer. Jamie's missing. We have Jhmeid's going to be on
I
our show.
thought
He's
so. Yeah,
missing.
I thought we were supposed to have some extra people here, and man, it's just I'm just a little confused as to
I
what's going
know,
on.
right? Are we
Are
Is
we
this thing
being
on?
are we shadow banned?
Right? Speaking of shadow band, I reached out to your person that you referred me
Oh,
to.
mm-hmm. Oh no, you haven't heard anything?
She said, "I'm at work, I'll message you." And I guess she's still working because she's never messaged me. Hi, Joanne. Thank you for being here. We
Yes,
appreciate
because we
you.
appreciate that. Yeah, because for a second there, I thought we were on the wrong show
I
or something.
know. You know when they say, and many more on channel 4, are we on the right channel?
Right, exactly. That it was weird.
Did you have a good weekend, Joanne?
Yeah, tell us about
Tell
your
us
weekend,
about
Joey,
your
because we're
weekend.
gonna go in deep with our weekend. So we want to make sure that we let everyone share their weekend and how it went. Because
You still have littles, Joanne, so you still do Easter egg hunts, right?
yeah,
Because we're going to tell you about our Easter egg shenanigans.
that was that was totally rigged.
It was so rigged. It's unreal how rigged it was.
How did he get so many? Like he must have been cruising through there, because
I found 4,
I I
maybe
found
5.
I found four and I gave two to somebody that had found zero.
Yeah,
So
well, yeah, Eric found none, and he's like, let me at least have one. So,
right, exactly. I was like,
so there was what, 26 of us,
I think so. Yeah.
and there was 50 eggs. So that averages out to what? One apiece? I mean, two apiece?
Oh, barely.
Barely two apiece. So if 30 days hath September,
Right.
how many did you get? That was
I was like,
craziness.
we need. Okay, so I think next year we need to have at least 200 eggs if we're going to do the thing. We
Yeah,
just because I didn't even know that. Like, did they even hide any eggs? I was like, did they even hide any eggs?
I, I never saw. I mean, they didn't stick out. We need to have a committee.
Right, exactly. Who was in charge of the planning of this?
It was Beatrice. That was all Beatrice.
Yes,
We
so
need to talk to
we are
her.
definitely going to have to yell at her and let her know that those were definitely some
Can we
shenanigans.
tag her in this post?
I think so.
Let's see.
Let's tag her and see what
See
she
if you
says.
see if you can find her. I can't get her name to come up.
Okay, let me see. Let me switch
But
to
anyway, it's Monday and it feels really weird. I feel like we're on the wrong
right.
station.
Like, are we sure that Jamie was gonna come on?
Right? Is it tonight? How was your day? What'd you do today? Did you sleep in like extra? Jamie. He like messaged at 6:30 this morning. Of course, I wasn't awake to see it, but anytime you say y'all start, that's all Jamie.
Okay, I just tagged B.
Okay, look, Chon. Hi, Chon. Welcome to the Social and Distancing Show. We appreciate your laughter.
Right. You laughing at our pain. That's what we
Yes,
yeah.
thank you.
Because we are like the side here. We usually have someone in charge of getting everything going.
Oh, listen to this. Joanne said, I made exploding hamburgers, Easter egg hunt. The boys and girls had fun. Good eats and money in the eggs. Plus, I got them walkie talkies. Oh, and of course, candy. Hey, what are exploding hamburgers?
Exploding hamburgers.
I want to know what that is. Do they have like cheese that burst in your mouth when you bite into
Oh,
them? That sounds
that
legit.
sounds really good.
I mean, that.
That's
I already had dinner. Now I'm hungry.
right, exactly. I just finished up some salmon, so I don't know if I can take that and make it exploding salmon.
Right?
We have
What
to take
kind of how much money was in your eggs, Joanne?
right, exactly, because the person that found the most eggs also happened to be the one that won
Yeah,
the big pot.
right. I just can't. If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all.
Right. So I think maybe next year we should like separate it into like $1 bills.
So everybody, it'll
'Cause
be an honorable mention.
I actually would have preferred the participation ribbon this
I
time
know.
around.
I was like, I voted. I did vote for a big pot,
I did too, not realizing that there were only 26
26
eggs.
eggs. So look, Chon said Jamie's taking a nap. That's probably true.
That is
Probably true.
very true.
And let's see here. We have some messages coming in.
We do.
Oh, what? Oh, we apparently left Jhmeid hanging. Jhmeid apparently does not have access like we thought he did. No
Oh,
one gave us these instructions, mind you.
I thought that the EP
The
was going to take care of
usually
that.
producer people take care of that stuff.
Yeah,
So
we are just the talent. We
we
don't
there's
have.
only so much we can do. I mean, we have to carry this show on our backs, and we do have bad backs, especially from our weekend shenanigans.
Weekend shenanigans. Let me tell you. So I loved the smell of the crawfish boil. Like
Yes.
it smelled delicious. Like, and I was super jealous that I could not have any without.
Well, you had some.
I, but yeah, so I thought it was cool that he actually separated the veggies out and the sausage. So I was able to eat the sausage and the potatoes and the corn. And while I was eating the corn, I'm a weenie, I guess, for spice. My lips
Okay.
were burning the whole time. I was like, is this allergic reaction or is it too spicy? And I
Am
just
I
felt like,
dying?
am I dying? It was so bad because I just couldn't feel my lips anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it was so spicy for me, but it was good. I truly enjoyed it. I would have loved to have some more. So I had 3 burgers.
Hi, John. How are you?
Hey, John. I had 3 burgers, and I probably should have started with the potatoes and corn and sausage. Oh,
Professor, we
oh, oh,
apologize.
wow.
Jamie
No-
left you hanging. We are so sorry. We had no idea that we were
That's
supposed
what
to
I do,
send you
Jhmeid.
the link.
That's what I
Oh
do.
my
I
gosh.
leave people hanging.
Yeah, like there. Did you? I was looking back through the messages, and I did not see that we were.
You didn't see
supposed to
Jhmeid's message about him saying, "Can someone let me in?"
No,
No,
nope, sure did not.
did not. I'm looking.
Let bygones be bygones.
Oh,
That's
I
a
see
Yeah.
it.
that's
I see
Good
it
idea,
now.
Jhmeid. Good
I see
idea.
it
long
now,
time
Jimmy.
ago.
I'll take your advice.
Thank you. Thank y'all for joining us. John says
Yeah.
he's good.
The-
John
yeah.
says we are fired. That was before y'all came in.
Yeah.
That was
Right, exactly. Yeah, my lips were burning, but it was so good. And so I got just that hint of what the crawfish boil would be like. So I enjoyed it.
Yes. Professor, did you have a good weekend?
I did. I was a little under the weather because the pollen really came down here in the southeast. It was like the
Same over
top
here.
rated year and Thursday and Friday, the top rated pollen count. So, but I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better.
Good.
So
Well, thank you for hopping in here and helping us out today. We appreciate it.
this
As
is my
usual.
home away from home. This is my family.
This is
I
true. And
appreciate you saying
I'm
that.
loving that Silver Surfer shirt. I love that.
Who,
Oh, I didn't catch that.
if you don't love Silver Surfer, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Did you like Silver Surfer Black?
What is Silver Surfer?
You're right. Is he wearing a
Never mind.
Silver Surfer black shirt?
We'll
No,
come
he's
back
not.
to it another time.
What was that?
Silver Surfer Black.
It's okay.
Jamie, you're kind of in the dark.
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
I can
Do
shed
you
some
not
light on,
have
I'm sorry.
lights on or
Shed
anything?
some light on the subject.
There we go. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Joanne's explaining
Oh,
the exploding
here-
burgers.
So Joanne,
Yeah, I
mentioned
made
you had
those last year or the
exploded
year
burgers.
before. Remember?
This is Joanne's
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah,
So
so
we're going to talk
great.
about
That's what I'm
Joanne.
saying. She told us on the show what they were.
Ranch, bacon, cheese, spring onion bowl burgers. Don't ask Jamie how to make them because he tanked big time. Sorry, but
did.
very true, Jamie.
Wait, what's the story? How?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I
No,
don't
she,
remember.
she just gave me the recipe, but I don't remember which part of it. I have pictures still somewhere, but there was a part of this, one of the steps that just didn't. It was my first time doing it. It would have tasted great though. The flavor was good. I just didn't execute the bowl properly, and so when I put the patty bowl and the other patty on top, it didn't work out right. I don't remember exactly what the detail was, but I could tell immediately when done right. It's freaking awesome burger.
But they make a special little contraption for those that have a insert for them.
Mhm. So I didn't have that, but I had a muffin tin, and because I like to go big, I used the jumbo muffin tin when I should have used the regular muffin tins to
Oh.
fold over those.
Mm.
But
Have you ever had a hamburger with tostones as the bun?
I don't even know what a tostones
I was
is.
going to say, what's a toston?
Mm.
For those people that
For those
don't
of us,
know,
yeah,
for them, Jimmy, tell them what that
tell them what they're
is.
missing out on.
Go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, because we know exactly
We
what
know
it is.
what
We
it
just
is.
want
Right. I know
you to
you
explain
guys.
it.
For the other people.
For the other
Except
folk.
For you guys. So, plantain is like for the Caribbean countries, it is
Pantalones?
it's such a important staple, and then in particular, in the Dominican Republic, that's kind of like the nickname for Dominicans is platanos, right? So that's what we're known for. So a tostón is like every country has their own tostón except for in the Caribbean.
Mhm.
I think like Jamaicans, they eat it sweeter, but you take the green ones and then you chop them up. You peel it. You have to know how to peel it right. Chop it up, and you can chop it up. The bigger you chop it up, the bigger it is going to be when you smash it. So you chop it up, soak it in your spices if you know if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to fry it up right away, which is wrong. Then you put it in
We knew
the
that.
oil.
We knew that.
We knew.
I know you guys know. And then you smash it, right? So you can do it with a press or with a saucer or with a little bitty
The tomal.
pan, and you just smash it. So if you make it big enough, you can smash it and then you fry it again, and then that's the toast.
Oh.
So the funny thing is with plantains in the Caribbean, they're not like the bananas that we taste.
Right,
They actually take
right.
on a more starchy consistency, more like a potato and a sweet potato. And so you
it's-
spice them up. One of the main dishes down there is it called mafundo?
Mofongo.
Mofongo. It's close to it, but it's fried plantains, right?
Quit Googling.
Well,
while the professor's
it's like
talking.
those are when you put in a pilon, right?
Okay.
And then you right. So
A what? No,
A
not that.
pilon? What's
Yeah.
A molcajete?
maybe that's what
That-
maybe that's what you
A
guys.
potato
In
masher?
Spanish, we call it a molcajete, the little
No.
grinder.
You call it a pilon.
That's what I call it. That's what I'm.
Yeah. I'm just messing with you.
I know.
A pilon is
Like a what is it? A pistol and
Pelon.
Pestle and mortar?
yeah, pestle
yeah.
and mortar.
That's a
Okay, so el
molcajete.
molcajete, yeah.
Yeah.
or a pilon.
Hey, what are we talking about?
I object.
Are we
But-
talking about plantains?
But it was. I mean, that sounds like that burger bowl would taste good in that as the bowl.
Oh, you know what?
That's how
It
we
could-
think. That's how we think. We like.
I'm with
what
you, man.
more can we put into?
Into
But
the
don't-
plantains. What
But
can you
don't
make?
deep fry it right away. Don't do that.
No,
can do-
no. You'll probably
Be quiet, Jim.
like fry it once, smash it, make it into the bowl, and then
Yeah.
And then what?
I guess. Do you bake the bowl? Do you bake the burger in the bowl? How you cook the burger?
Do you grill
On the
it?
grill.
Oh yeah. You would throw it on the grill or in the oven,
Oh.
whatever you have available. So
I mean, I
the,
know-
the end result is a burger. So whatever you can do to get that.
So
I know in
Joanne
Texas,
says-
everybody has to have a Blackstone. It's like a law.
It is.
That according
a
to
Blackstone,
Do you have one yet?
And a
a
smoker.
pellet griller, a pellet smoker,
I think I'm gonna ask for a smoker for Father's Day. Let's see if that'll fly by.
Traeger
See if that'll-
is top of the line.
Is that what it is? I think I've heard that, Cindy.
You can get
Oh, you mean those easy bake?
the easy bake oven, the cheating one.
Yeah. The
If
ceramic
you
green
ain't
egg
cheating,
is a good
you
one,
ain't
too.
trying if you ain't cheating.
So what do you smoke yours on, or what kind of smoker do you have?
I had an offset smoker, and I just bought a gravity fed smoker, so I can't wait. I'm redoing my deck. I can't wait to do all that.
Nice. So Joanne is saying no. Take a huge ball of meat and form the bowl with a beer can or Coke.
Oh, the
Then
meat
add the
is the
filling.
bowl.
Yeah.
Grill covered. The filling just comes oozing out.
Oh,
Oh.
Jaime definitely didn't clarify that. for
Yeah,
us.
no oven. Oh,
I
because
said
you put
I
yours in
formed
the
it over the
oven.
muffin. Yeah, and it was in the winter time, so it had to have been 2 years ago. I couldn't make it any other way, so I'm not going outside.
Wouldn't or wouldn't?
I'm not going in below negative weather to go cook up some hamburgers.
To grill
But
a
they
burger.
sounded
No,
so
no.
good. I was like, I'm gonna try these out.
That's the sign of a true. That's a sign of a true outdoorsman. Your willingness.
Okay,
to get-
I'm okay with that. Then I'm okay not needing to claim that. Y'all can keep that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a true grill.
Yeah. See these hands? No.
So Eric has gone out and grilled and done stuff on the Blackstone when it's pretty cold. I just
But what's
hand him
pretty
stuff.
cold?
Well, Texas cold,
Yeah.
30,
I mean,
40
Texas has had
degrees.
some crazy weather, in the last few years and stuff. So
It's been
That's what I'm
like it's
asking.
still chilly like right now. Like every morning,
Right.
I have the heater
Oh.
on going to work, the air conditioner on the way back home. I'm going 80 degrees inside my car in the morning.
it is.
Heat warmers on.
So it's like 40 degrees today, right? And I went to the hot dog place before I took my daughter to her horse lessons. I'm sorry, 29 degrees. And I'm out there, and there's a little girl, and she's got the coat on. I mean, not the coat, but the coat, right? And everything. And I'm out here, I'm like, what are you doing out here? Like, you shouldn't be here. And she's like, they make us, and I was like, no, like, what's wrong with people? So then I get up to the window and I told her, I'm going to tell them at the window, okay? Because I know she can't say anything, right? So I get to the window and I told the lady at the window, and I was like, they shouldn't be out there. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves for putting kids out there in 30-degree weather right now. And she's like, I know. She goes, you want to talk to my manager? I was like, yeah, I do. And then when she goes to get him, my daughter goes, no, you don't, Dad. Why are you doing this? And I said, because they can't do it.
What's up, Dad?
So the manager gets here, and I was like, I just need to tell you, I think it's disgusting that y'all are putting kids out there in 30-degree weather. We're not even in the dead of winter, but they're still out there in the wintertime. And it's cold out here. You wouldn't be out there.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, he gave me the spill. And I was like, I know you got to say what you got to say, but I'm just letting you know, I think it's a horrible
He
practice to
said,
put kids out there to
"Dear
take orders.
concerned citizen,
To
we
take
appreciate
orders."
You coming.
I'm like, every other restaurant around here has a drive-through speaker.
right.
Why are these kids out here in 30-degree weather
It builds
taking
character.
orders?
It builds
then
character.
No, he said no.
Jaime
It's a way
got
to
the
get our
girl
speed of
fired.
service.
So the bottom line is Jaime got the poor young lady fired.
Yeah. Did you tell them that you?
Right. Did you tell him to
There
tell
was a
me?
guy. There was a male Karen that was.
I'm okay with that.
A Chad.
You say-
There was a
y'all can
Chad.
razz all you want, but it doesn't make the scenario any less funny or worse. Kids should not be out there in 30-degree weather taking orders for food. It's stupid.
Which
Up
restaurant
here,
is this?
maybe in Texas, where it can be 60, 70 degrees, 80 degrees all year long. Up here in the north and further,
Yeah, well, the
Freaking
Chick-fil-A's,
stupid.
though, they have actual heaters in
Yeah.
the covers.
that's awesome, actually.
Yeah,
They
they
do
actually have
have
heaters.
I mean,
I
so
was like,
the people stand outside and the heaters are there, or it's
Yeah.
just to like heat
Yeah.
the car? Okay,
no, it's right
now
there.
that's
So,
that's
like it's all covered, and there's heaters like
Wow.
four down, and so they can have 4 people standing there, and they'll be under a heater.
that's awesome. Actually, I didn't know they had that. That's crazy.
I was like,
Look at Chick-fil-A. I see
Yeah.
you, Chick-fil-A.
yeah. So
Let's
we
see
were
what-
like,
Which
what are they
restaurant
doing?
was this?
It's the popular. Oh God, I'm not gonna remember it, but it's the popular
Waffle
one
Ice?
that's in Chicago. The hot dogs, not the mom and pa's joint, but the Portillo's. Portillo's.
Oh yeah, I got something from there when I was up there.
It's highly overrated. And bear with me because everyone's gonna hate me. And it is. People are religious about the Portillo's
They
hot
are.
dogs.
They
They really are. But let me tell
And
you,
I was like, I had the damnedest time finding it because, like, you assume that northern cities would have the right pronunciation. So
so when you were saying Portillo's,
yeah, I'm like looking around.
they're like, no.
yeah,
So
I'm
right
looking
down
at
the
it
street.
wrong way. I'm like, I see this Portillo's, but where's the what kind of food is this? I don't. Because I was like, everybody
Portillo
was,
sounds like Mexican food.
So right around the corner from Portillo's here in Normal, Illinois, literally a block away is Dos Portillos. Not even kidding you. But if you cross the street and just walk like 3 houses down, there's Portillo's.
It's Portillo's.
Portillo's. But
Not
like Jhmeid
not
and myself, you will see the name and you will want to say Portillos.
well, I just thought it was. I was like, so everybody was raving. So I was spelling it. I was like, okay, why is this the only thing that keeps coming up? And I'm very confused. But then yeah, it was one of those things. People are very loyal to their food. Like
Mhm.
I can admit that our city's food is the Varsity, which is a greasy spoon right by Georgia Tech. It's an experience, but don't take anybody there looking for some kind of fine dining. It's
Like a
greasy
mind-blowing
burgers and
food
and
experience.
hot dogs. So when I take people there, I level set. I said, listen, this is an experience. The food is not that great. And then, because
why?
you go there and look at there, like it's like an auctioneer type
That's
thing.
like Wiener Schnitzel for me. When I go to Wiener Schnitzel, people tell me it's not a good hot dog. I'm like, I know that, and you know that, but I go there because that reminds me. It's the only place that's in my hometown and up here. It's the closest thing.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So I mean, if you can give people that warning,
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which leads me into my one of my thoughts from yesterday. We were talking about Easter, right? What happened on Easter,
Mhm.
or just people's Easters and whatnot. So, if you look in the hashtags, I put hashtag Easter and restaurants and what's open and stuff like that. So, did anybody else go out yesterday forgetting that it was Easter? Because I did in the afternoon after I had my nap. I went out and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go look at this and do it." And I go
Thought
around.
The Lord had risen yesterday.
I forgot that. Well, I forgot that places would shut down for Easter, and was like, "Why is there no one around?"
Right. Yep.
And
Well, we were going to race to United to pick up something for the Easter celebration, and no, we did
you were not. You thought you were.
We drove
United
right on
said no.
past. And I was like, oh, I guess we won't be picking up something from there.
Yeah, right.
So we had to go all the way to Wally World to pick up something. So
But it was interesting that some of the restaurants that were open versus like the stores not being open. Right?
yeah, restaurants
Restaurants were packed.
Restaurants were packed. Yes.
Well, I'm in favor of that kind of kind of calling out certain days to not be open. Like Lowe's, I told you I'm in the middle of this deck. Lowe's and Home Depot here were not open yesterday, which was good. Like
Yeah,
give
I
these
think that's
people
good too.
some time with their families.
Right.
I understand restaurants, especially on that day, can't be open, can't be closed. But as much as you can, some of that stuff is not going to really affect your bottom line as much as the morale and kind of internal satisfaction of your team members not to have to
Right.
work or not to have to miss another family day
Right.
because of a holiday. So
And
it
I'd be
doesn't
open
bother
if they
me
were
at all.
closed. I'd be okay if they were closed. It sucked.
Yeah.
Could be a little, kind of like going out yesterday, but I would support restaurants closing down for the holiday so they could also spend time with their families and friends,
Right.
or not. If they just want to be by themselves and
They
hang
just
out.
want to veg out.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. I think certain ones are big days for restaurants.
Sure.
Like Easter is a big.
They'll all claim that though. They'll all claim it's a big day for
that's
them.
true. That's
So
true.
it's not going to be any different from Mother's Day. They're going to say that. 4th of July, they're going to say that. For Christmas Eve, they're going to say that. You know what I'm saying? So the list goes on. There's really not anything. But it's kind of like when what's the Thursday one? Black Friday. No. Yeah. Black Friday. I think places need to be closed. Or no. When they open on Christmas.
No, they were opening
Day.
on Thanksgiving at midnight. And so people,
Oh, yeah.
and then some people,
Yeah.
and then they decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and open on Thanksgiving. Instead of, so they were trying to extend Black Friday weekend. And
Right.
and then I was like, why? It's like, they're,
So we can pepper spray more people.
So
we can bum rush everybody.
So we have some more viral videos.
The more world
so you can
star.
kill for some PS5s and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
all that stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
I was in big support of that closing. A lot of times we have these self-made emergencies, right? And it's like, oh man, I gotta go in there on Thanksgiving to buy some food for Thanksgiving. No, you could
No.
just get it the day before.
Right. Yeah.
Get some coolers involved in it, and
Right.
so you don't overwhelm your kitchen. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I think they should just open normal hours on Black Friday. I don't think they should open at midnight. I'm just like, hey,
I think it's a push. It's a push going towards that way.
right.
It's a push.
I think
going
it
towards-
was, but last year I feel like they backslid a bit. Actually,
Let's keep an eye on that. Let's
Yeah.
keep an eye on
good
it.
idea.
We'll
Have-
So I
have
will
y'all
say
ever
there.
and come back.
done any Black Friday shopping? Have y'all ever partaken?
Never.
I do it every year. That's the other thing is I do it every year. So
And you're the one saying close it down,
So-
but you're
so-
one of the biggest
So Jaime is
shoppers?
responsible for this travesty.
And here's
No.
the weird thing that people don't know is that Black Friday is not the busiest shopping day of the year. It
Not
used
anymore.
to be. It's the Saturday before Christmas is the biggest shopping day of the year.
Right.
And so, even to call it the busiest shopping day of the year, it's just a misnomer. It's just
it's
a way
just
for
yeah,
them.
it's an ad.
It's a way for them to build
Yeah.
up.
Like the whole diamond for and
Yeah.
the lobster.
Right.
Lobster was for poor people. It wasn't for rich people.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Just like couscous and quinoa. That was like poor folk. Now it's healthy eating.
Oh
charge
no!
you
Don't
extra.
start me on all the stuff that used to be cheap. And I used to. So short ribs is my secret to my chili. And I used to always go in, get a pack of short ribs for about $4 or $5, add them in there, and that flavor when the bone marrow gets out, unmatched.
Dude, you're right. That bone marrow is another
But
story.
now,
But now you can add
now
them
you
short
go
ribs.
in short ribs. That might be the most expensive part of the dish now.
Do you ever watch those videos, guys, like where they tell you about the secret pieces of steak that exist, and then if you go to the butcher and ask for it, you can get it?
Oh, like the what's it called? There's one that's
The Detroit steak, for example.
the flat iron steak is one of them.
That used to be one. Now it's
It's pretty good.
it used to be one of the
it used
cuts
to
you
be
can
a-
get. It was cheap, right?
Yeah, it was a very
Yeah,
hard.
skirt steak used to be.
It was so good though.
burnt ends. Eric said, burnt ends. Do you know how to make
Those-
poor man's burnt ends, Eric? That's what.
What
I
are
have to
those?
ask
Are
you.
those just hot dogs, or is that spam?
I actually saw some people that would be homeless man's. But
For any of the homeless people watching this right now, we're sorry.
yeah,
You do you.
being
You do you.
offensive. You can
Kobe
use
meat.
chuck roast to kind of fake the process. So you cut them up, and then you
Oh,
get
okay.
because the burnt ends is a result of the beautiful cook of a brisket, right?
Right.
Mm.
But you could mess it up, and briskets are so expensive. There's no more expensive snack from a steak perspective than burnt ends. But you could use a chuck roast to make poor man's burnt ends,
Yeah.
which is less
I'm down for
expensive,
that.
and then you know, you don't have to make the whole brisket.
I'll have to
So
look into that
you
Get
know what?
burnt
One
ends
of
that
my
you made.
because I suck at making
brisket.
brisket. Yes.
Can you live in Texas and say that? Are they gonna?
Yeah.
Is Walker
could-
Texas Ranger gonna
Listen.
kick in your door?
I'm not invited to the barbecue with my
That was
brisket. I
funny.
can tell you
That was real funny. What were you saying, Sandy?
I've been a judge at the Hub City Barbecue for the last 5 years maybe, and I have put some brisket in my mouth that you just wanted to go slap them people. Like you just ruined a good piece of meat. Yeah,
Oh no!
there are some bad briskets in this world.
Really?
Yes.
I thought
Briskets are not easy. Briskets
So
are
we
not
have-
easy.
We have a popular barbecue joint up here in town. It's the worst barbecue I've ever had in my life.
No, I'll
I
tell you the
kid you
worst.
not.
The one that's the worst is in
Can you say
Cooper.
it?
Yes, I'm there. And their
gonna
reviews are like,
attack
"This
you.
was the best barbecue app." No, it was not.
Who?
It's Cooper's in Junction, Texas. Never stop there. Do
Okay.
not pass go. Like $200. Let me tell you, y'all know what those paper towels look like in the restroom, like that brown one when you pull the roll and it gets. That's what my brisket looked like. And then, so we sat outside to eat this
Oh, that's
brisket,
gross,
this
Sandy.
dry ass brisket.
You mean
We
beef
sat-
jerky?
Yeah. Oh, it was awful.
Beef.
We sat outside to eat it. The flies weren't even coming to it. They were like eating the sides, and they were just like, "Oh, good luck with that
Ugh.
piece of meat."
They're like,
It
we'll leave
was
that alone.
awful. It was expensive. And then we looked at the reviews, and people were like, "We're from out of town, and we just love it every time we come in." And I'm like, "Y'all just don't even know."
I know, because Texas.
Mm.
So when I used to do competitive barbecue, like
Come again?
That is so awesome.
the people from Texas, like, because you can see the other contestants when it starts, because you had to register, and they put up all the things and where you're from and what's your name. Like the top 20 in way over in Georgia or South Carolina or Alabama, them boys and gals from Texas, they're gonna dominate that brisket because it's nothing to you guys. Because for us, we didn't grow up making briskets. I didn't cook my first brisket till I was 30 something. So because it's not a regular part of our
It's not a staple in your diet.
yeah, it's not like in Southern barbecue, it's pork, and more pork.
Man, I'm getting
So-
hungry when you're talking about this.
I know. Joanne kicked it off. Joanne did.
I'm picturing that scene. Every chef I always see who makes the brisket, and they squeeze it, and then you just see the butter
That
coming
little,
out.
that
Oh.
pink
Yeah.
round.
It
Oh,
no, when they squeeze it, and it just juice oozes out of it. It's like,
Yeah.
Joe, y'all need to drive over. I believe it's Lockney or Olton to have Regino's barbecue. Oh my gosh.
Really?
Oh, it is worth the drive. I promise. It is so good. This
I like
is
how the
not a
Mexican
paid
County
promotion.
joint has some of the best barbecue you've mentioned. It reminds me of what was that place we used to go get cheeseburgers from, Joe, off 50th and the interstate.
Peter's.
Remember when
Oh,
the cheese
yeah.
would just melt?
Jalapenos?
Jalapenos.
Yeah.
That
I think it closed
cheeseburger.
down.
That
It did
it's-
close down, and he works
Oh.
at United. Mr.
Man, those
Jalapeno.
cheeseburgers were the bomb there. Like that cheese
Yeah, we
would
would
melt
wait.
into the beef.
And they took forever to because
Yeah.
we ordered burgers at a Mexican restaurant.
It was so good.
It
It was so good.
It's so good.
If you ever come up to my neck of the woods, Jhmeid, I'll take you to the best Mexican restaurant that serves the best sushi I've ever had.
You
So-
told me about that. You told me about that.
Yeah, that stall.
I'm kind of scared.
Big as your head, burritos.
Oh, John knows what he's talking about.
Let's pass
So
that stuff.
if you're doing 20 hours,
Mhm.
you are doing 225, 215. because I usually come in about for like 13 to 15. I really try to go between 13 and 15 just from my days on the competitive barbecue circuit, because you can't.
He's
If
just
it's
showing
too
off.
big, it's harder. If it's too small, it's gonna burn. But yeah, but you know that little stuff like that peach wrap paper, you can't get it here easily. Like
The
now
butcher
you
paper?
can
Butcher
because of
paper, yeah,
TV.
yeah.
Yeah, but when I first learned how to cook it, I was wrapping it in foil, which really
Because it cooked it more in foil.
well. What happens is it actually works too good, because what you typically want to do, you want to get a bark on it, and then about when it gets to that stall,
Tallow.
you where do you get the tallow from? The butcher?
Mhm.
Oh man, I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind trying that.
Jhmeid's like, you can see
So-
his gears grinding. He's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh,
Jhmeid's like, I'm gonna be out for the rest of the show.
I gotta
No,
eat the brisket."
yeah.
Usually, I don't know if all butchers do it though. Like I know in the Mexican butchers, you can ask them to get it for you, and they'll do it.
Peach paper is so great. I've never even heard of peach paper. Eric, are you taking notes, bud?
Peach
the
paper's the
We need to take a trip, Sandy, to Franklin's Barbecue, because that's what John Harville was.
Oh yeah, but it
Where's
had to
that
be a
at?
whole trip because you have to
Awesome.
line up so early to get some.
Oh,
Where's
I've
that at?
heard-
Austin?
Yes, I've heard of
Austin,
theirs.
yeah,
Yep.
Franklin's Barbecue. That's
We
where
have
I
a
got
similar
most
place
of
up
my
here in
recipes.
St. Louis. There's a barbecue joint there that was really good, and they wrapped around the entire building. But we waited in line and had a pretty good time. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
That
they-
was some good.
And they'll
barbecue.
go and they'll say the line will go, and then they'll get to a spot in the line and like, okay, we're sold out from here on out.
Yeah,
Can,
I'd be like,
can you imagine the disappointment?
I would be so mad, especially if we
Happy's
drove.
Happy Smokehouse.
Like people
Okay.
start showing up like at 6 a.m. They don't open until 11.
Yeah. People camp out like the old days of buying Jordans.
Old days. I hear they still do it.
Well,
The sneaker. What are they called again?
Sneakerheads.
Thank you.
the Mexican. So where I live is like the most diverse part of. It's called an international corridor. So I'm surrounded by the best pho restaurants, the best Malaysian restaurants, the best Bangladeshi, Pakistani. So I
Oh,
don't have to
wow.
just get Indian. You can get Bangladeshi, Pakistani, which is a little different than regular Indian.
Wow.
All the different parts of Mexico that I'm just learning about, the different cook styles of Michoacan, I guess, is that right?
Michoacan.
Michoacan borders
Yeah, and
the
then
state of
What's the one
Guanajuato.
with the SIN, Sinaloa?
Sinaloa. Mhm.
Yeah, that's there. Now they can smoke. They can smoke some meat, and
They can
so
smoke some
it's
weed.
not just Mexican restaurants. It's the different areas of Mexico. Restaurants are different restaurants, right?
Wow.
So,
You know, speaking of smoking, I realized and found out that up here, places just don't like when they order a drug test on you up here in the north, they just ignore the cannabis piece of the drug test. And that's how
Well-
we technically get away with it up here.
well, yeah. I mean, it's legal there in Chicago, in Illinois, right? Is it
Yeah,
the whole state
yeah.
or just Chicago?
New Mexico just went legal, and their sales were through the roof, and that
That's
was
how
like
it
a
is
lot of
every-
a lot of Texans were purchasing it. I'm like, why y'all got to be snitching on us, Texans?
They didn't know that. But that's the cool. I was like, oh, that makes me feel so much better now. Because
technically,
I'm
if you
like,
buy in New Mexico and bring it back to Texas, you're trafficking.
you're a smuggler.
Mm,
You smuggle.
That's what I've heard anyway. I don't know anything about
Right.
that.
Don't look here. Don't look here. Turn
people.
around. Turn around. I mean, you can look here. I don't care because I'm not. Look,
Uh-oh.
I'm good
John
here.
says you can make it, just use the brisket fat and render it down.
No, that's no. I don't think you should do that. That's just me though.
You
That's
can
some
also
good
use
stuff.
pork tallow too. I never tried it, but I heard it's really good, like having bacon fat soaking on the brisket.
You know who was the ultimate barbecuer in the world? I believe it was
Emerald.
God, literally God. Not because God's just the omnipotent being, but if you read any of the scriptures, what did he like the most? He liked.
Lamb.
He loved his meat smoked. because he would send that fire down to eat it, and he'd ask for the fat portions of the cows.
Oh,
And
that's
so,
true.
and so it was like, man, he really knew his stuff.
Was that God or the priests asking for?
No.
God
Because,
saith,
look,
God
because
saith,
when
bring
the
me some lamb tallow,
no, because
humbly
you
dressed
remember
according to the
when
kosher law,
do you remember, was
salted
it? I
from the
think it was
earth,
Nehemiah.
no
No,
pepper.
Nehemiah, the only priest left after everyone came in and killed everyone else. He was like, "I will put my offering here, and you put your offering there, and we'll see whose God comes down and takes it." And put the offering on the rocks, and God sent down a flame to come around that beef and swirled it around there. And then when the fire was gone, the meat was gone. So
So
God was the
the
original
Aztecs.
barbecue judge.
God was yes, God was the ultimate. He was like, I know, I need this meat so I can get my grill on. That's what y'all are going to give me. And remember, he only got from the choice offerings, meaning the best, the first,
Unblemished.
unblemished. He knew the premium cuts that he wanted,
That's
and he
how I go
got
to the
them.
farmer's market. That's how I go to the farmer's market with the Old Testament. I want the unblemished.
So, okay, look, there was a couple of hashtags we had here, but I wanted to talk about a couple of things sports-wise, Jhmeid, which is why we asked you to come on. There's been some big sports news I saw in Google the other day, and I was like, wow. I was like, I don't know enough about sports, but I know Sandy and Joe love it, and who better to ask to come on and talk a little bit about it than Dad's very own
thanks
you.
for having me on to talk about sports. I mean, I love talking about everything because
I know.
Big mouth, but
I love that your watch matches your shirt.
What?
Well, that's what nerds do.
I love it.
Nerds are like, can I make sure it matters? But so from the sports world, it's like a cool time. First of all, Texas is totally winning, right? Like that one school in Texas, right? Is it Highland Park, where Matthew Stafford went? The guy who won the golf, won the Masters,
Right.
and Clayton Kershaw. So it's like bloop 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 bloop. So yeah, this is the time right now. We just finished with the Final Four, so college basketball is over. Pro basketball is just starting the playoffs. Texas didn't do that well in the NBA. You got Houston trying to tank, which means they were trying to lose as many games as possible so they can get as high a draft pick as possible.
Right.
And then
That's
the
so
Spurs,
ridiculous.
is going to be, is Pop going to retire? Is going to be a good question. They're in a play-in game and they lost, so that's going to be interesting. What's Pop's next move? Dallas is in, but Luka, their star, is out. So he missed the first game they lost. He's going to miss the second game. They don't know when he's coming back.
Wow.
Baseball season is kicking off. The Texas Rangers spent a goo gob of money. I think they spent over
That's
$1 billion.
the technical term.
Right,
Yeah.
Google.
Well, they paid one guy $320 million. So
Jeez.
I think they spent $1 billion. And that's kind of how Texas does in cycles. They'll go, we're going to be sorry because we're mad because we spent too much money. And then eventually they go, hey, time to spend too much money again.
But their new facility is nice, though. It's
Have
a
you
lot
been
better
to a
than
game there?
I went last year to their new facility.
Was
It's
that brand
really
new
nice.
last year, or is it? Or
I think it was brand new last year.
It might have been brand new the year of COVID. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
You're probably
And
right.
So then it
So
was
it's not
kind
the
of
ballpark anymore, Sandy?
It's across
the
the
foot-
street.
Oh, it's across the street. Ooh.
wait, this is the baseball stadium? I thought it was a
Yes.
football stadium that
No.
they had just built.
The Texas Rangers, no, because they had Globe Life, and then I don't know what the new one it's called, but yeah, it's nice because Globe Life was so dang hot. Oh my gosh,
was
it's
hot.
miserable.
yeah.
We had seats third base, dug outside. I was 3 rows. I could have hit Alex Rodriguez in the head with a ball, and it was 200 degrees, and the sun was
It
just
was.
beating down on us. And then there were a little cloud would come through. and then it go around the sun.
The cloud was like, it's too hot for me.
You know what's funny about that? So with the new way baseball stadiums are designed, they're like, we use the science to make sure the fans are not in the sun and that views are not obstructed. So even if you're in the top row, you can see good without people. And you go like, well, what in the hell were they constructing the stadiums like
Exactly.
before? Like,
Yeah, what were they thinking
they're saying this stuff to
beforehand?
sound good, but you're like, you never thought of this before? Because Texas Stadium was probably the worst example of actually beautiful stadium that did not take into account the actual
And it was
weather
like
in
Spectators.
still
Texas in the
new.
summer.
Yeah.
Man, we left during the 7th inning. It was the Rangers playing the Yankees, and the Yankees had all of their big names on there.
Oh my
A
God.
Rod and those guys. And I
Mickey
was,
Mantle.
Yes.
Baby Ruth.
And I was,
Baby
I
Ruth,
was,
the candy
Baby
bar,
Ruthie.
the candy bar was out there.
and I was like, it is so hot. Even I was just melting. I'm like, we gotta go. I can't. And the Rangers were losing anyway.
You know how much ice cream we bought to keep the boys happy? It was enough
Too
to
much.
piss our wallets off. I mean, it was craziness. So Eric's saying they just got done paying off A-Rod. Here we are spending more money, but that's why they built a new stadium for the roof. Pitchers don't want to pitch for the Rangers because of the heat.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, what would happen to the so if something happens to one player, that's that player. But if it happens to a bunch of players, it's a problem. And what would happen was their pitching and their hitting would go down, so they would basically lose the division during the dog days of summer because
Yeah,
they
right.
would go
Yeah.
they would be good when the weather.
Yeah, because they'd always start out on a hot streak,
Yeah.
and then they would just tank, and you're like, what the crap?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were
Why
just-
are they all bad? Well, it's because the stadium was
'Cause they
not
hot.
designed with the fans and the players in mind. Because it just, baseball is relatively new to the South, right? In our lifetimes, our kids are like, yeah, we always had baseball. We grew up with all of our lifetimes when we were born. Baseball was in its infancy in wherever we were. So like. I think the Rangers only moved out to Texas in 70, 65, late 60s, early 70s, which is close to when we were born. That's
Oh.
that's close to when the Braves came around. The Marlins and all those teams are even younger.
Yeah.
So it's really
the
a new thing.
Diamondbacks, the Marlins, yeah, they're young teams.
So it's just some of those things they didn't take into consideration when they were designing and building these stadiums and fields.
It's crazy.
So baseball season is underway, and the NBA
And
playoffs.
still no salary caps for baseball.
Well, so we avoided a strike. We still don't have a hard salary cap. We did make a compromise on the floor because there are teams that are making less than players.
Yeah,
And-
like whole teams.
Yeah, and
What?
that's a problem, right? If you're
Yeah.
a fan, you're being asked to please stay loyal, but we're gonna spend $50 million on our whole team. But
Yeah.
we're trying.
Where they pay a pitcher, like the Rangers, they pay
Scherzer.
one pitcher $50 million.
Yeah, Scherzer, a couple of players. So yeah,
But I expect a $50 million kind of pitch.
Right?
I mean,
I think they all do.
but they don't. It's like Cowboys quarterback. They want all this money and they suck it up. I'm like, why would I pay you that?
But you know what? I feel like when it comes, I don't know much about sports, guys, but I know that baseball, I've always heard that no salary caps. It's the longest season of any of the sports. They make ridiculous amounts of money. And I've never been into it because I can't get out of the idea that it's like, I always feel like it's 1 versus 50-11, right? And it just seems so weird. And it's a no contact sport. And not that every sport needs to be contact, but at least in hockey, football, basketball, Heck,
In
even
hockey,
tennis,
a
even
game breaks out
tennis,
in between the
you get
fights.
people like it's just a fast. All those are fast-paced sports.
It is a slower game on occasion, but there's definitely some contact. So there's a little bit more contact, especially.
I think the expectation though is that it's not contact.
I mean,
Well,
we like it. We go to the tech games, the tech baseball games. Of course, we try to go to every tech event, but yeah, the tech baseball games, they're a lot of fun.
I think
Um,
all of them.
when we were
Yeah.
at the one of the playoff games, I mean, it got so rowdy in there, and it's a great environment. You just have to be in a great environment, I
Jhmeid, have
guess.
you ever heard of the Savannah Bananas?
yeah, they're a fun team.
Their
They
TikTok is hilarious.
they have embraced being the funny team. So I don't think their original name was the Bananas, but then they changed their name to the Banana, and they went full out on the craziest promotions, the
Yeah,
craziest.
their
Just
cheerleaders are the grandmas. Like they're all the grandmas. Yeah. So I think they have two teams. Like one of the teams is basically the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, which is the Savannah Bananas, and then they actually have a
Is
team.
it I guess like a minor league type
That
thing?
it is. It
actually
is.
tries to win. Like they'll do TikToks right before they throw the ball. Like the whole infield will do a TikTok dance and then he'll throw the ball.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so if you look at the TikTok about the Savannah Bananas, it's hilarious with some of the antics that they pull. So, uh, but I was just wondering if Jimmy had ever been to one because it
no,
looks
I
like
have
an
never
awesome
been to a.
environment.
I've never been to a game, and Savannah is not that far, and so, and we go to Savannah all the time. We just haven't thought about going to a game. Like whenever I go on vacation, I'm always outwomaned because my son is
Yeah.
grown.
Oh,
So the likelihood, so like if I say something like that, they'll be like, "Okay, what time do you want us to drop you off at this game,
Right. At the sports center event.
at this sports event with no shopping?"
wouldn't
No,
it
I
be
thought we
shopping?
could go as a family. But
So John says they're serious about baseball here. People get killed in the parking lot over their teams. Are you talking about the Dodgers?
The
Or the
Dodgers,
Savannah
Is that
Grandmas.
the
or
Angels, wait, is it? It's Anaheim now, but yeah, that's funny.
where is John?
In
Yeah.
LA,
hey
Out in
B?
California.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
You'll
that
have
is
to watch the
true.
beginning of the show, B.
hi B.
Yeah,
That is
So he was
true.
talking about the Dodgers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The Dodgers are not. They have some serious fans.
So
Professor,
if you had to tell, if you had to give us some advice on who to bet on here in the coming weeks,
if it's legal in your state.
If it's legal in your state, um, so
everything's legal on the internet.
All right,
with
that's true.
playoffs, there's game to game volatility. So like if you say I think that the 76ers are going to win the series, I would place more money on that bet than placing money on each game for the 76ers to cover, because they can they cannot cover and win a game, right? So
Hmm.
they've covered both games so far. I think that's a mismatch. Unfortunately, I think the Heat are too much for my Hawks. I think Phoenix is going to do pretty well. Golden State is kind of overmatching. So, and I think Utah has an advantage over Dallas because Luca is out. So
Wow.
that I would bet the series versus betting game to game, because say if you had 500 bananas, right, and you're betting $100 per series, you got to bet $100 here, $100 there. Then you lose one out of your hundreds, and then you lose. Or you could just bet all 500 bananas that the team you think is going to win the series wins the series.
he went from
Professor,
bananas to dollars back to bananas.
Right, exactly.
Professor, I would like to know how your bracket did
Oh
before
yeah, I would love to know.
before
What
I
your
go
bracket-
before I take your bets. How did your bracket do?
Well, my bracket was perfect. I had zero losses. The
What?
only one in the country, because I didn't put in a bracket.
Oh my god!
Get out of here,
I
shenanigans.
Scored a perfect 300.
Listen, the, I can't watch college basketball anymore and so I don't like to do anything for fun because it becomes not fun to me.
Oh,
So because like, oh, just put one in for fun. Then now I'm like, I lost this game. No, no. So I just didn't put in a bracket because I can't watch enough college basketball to have any opinion. But actually, it makes it fun for me to watch because I don't gamble at all on college football.
Well, we just do
None.
a funsie. We don't put any
did
money
I
on
win
it.
that one, by the way, Sandy? Did I win?
No, sir. I came in second place
Who came
in
in
our
first
group.
place?
Congrats.
But did I
Sandy.
win? I was leading pretty much the whole
Okay,
time.
no, you did not. I
Well,
came in above you, so there's that.
well, if,
I mean,
if
I
you're,
didn't want to
if
say
you're
it all
having,
out loud.
She's still not answering my question.
if you're doing for funsies, then that's a bet for the pride of the group.
For the
I'm
pride of
I'm
the
looking
group.
at it right now, Sandy.
Yes, I'm
Who
pretty
won?
sure.
Who won? If
There,
you came in second place,
every bracket was busted. I don't even in our little group. It was. I'm not sure who won, but I just know I got second place, and that's all. That's all that matters. That I beat Joe.
I know
So
I liked how Texas Tech played. I can
Oh
tell you that much.
yes,
I was
it
just
was
glad
so
Texas
close.
was out. I'm just so glad.
It was so close. It was so close.
So Joanne says bananas and pajamas are coming down the stairs.
That's cute.
I can't even find it.
Her
now.
little
Where'd
ones.
it go?
So while you're searching for that, I know we're getting close to the end, but I wanted to ask: have y'all guys been listening about any of the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp stuff?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
I,
so it's,
from the periphery,
okay, so last week I got into listening to YouTube stuff. Like I called Sandy. I don't know what was it, Thursday or Friday, maybe Sandy, right? Where I was listening to that. I was listening to a murderer tell her story over like a couple hours or something like that. And
Right. Interrogation. That was hours and days,
inter-
and she
oh
was
yeah,
being
yeah,
interrogated. Yeah, it was
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right, right.
four separate
And
interviews
there
or
was
something.
but it was a therapist, like a therapist perspective, I think, who was kind of mentioning things about it, and it was very interesting. So anyway, I found I was like, I want to listen to a court case then. So then I started watching. It just came up on the front page of YouTube, the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case. Right, it's a defamation trial. So that was neat. So I was like, okay, so these are celebrities. It's a defamation suit. It's not their divorce thing because they already divorced back in 2016 or 18, something like that. So anyway, we're listening to the stuff, and it's like I remember hearing the whole story, right? So Johnny Depp, if y'all don't remember, he got fired from being Captain Jack Sparrow, and remember there was supposed to be a whole bunch of other movies coming out with him as Captain Jack Sparrow for Disney, and he got fired, didn't get any more of those movies because Amber Heard came out. His wife, who played Myrna on Aquaman, I don't know any other movie she's been in, but anyway,
Yeah.
she
I didn't even know that
she
was Amber Heard.
yeah. So she and Johnny Depp, they started dating, they got married, and then
Got
she
divorced.
well she said that he had abused her. He was
Physically.
rough with her, physically hurt her, and bruises and all that stuff. And so she came out in the paper, and it was crazy. And I remember this. I was like, no way. I really like Johnny Depp. I couldn't believe this. And I was upset about it. So anyway, he got fired from a whole lot of projects. Hasn't been in any movie since all that stuff happened. Ended up coming out. She was like, I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to say all this stuff. He started getting pissed, and he ended up filing a lawsuit against her saying that you were defaming my name and stuff. And none of this was true. So he hit her with a $50 million lawsuit.
Not
she
physically, but with the lawsuit.
So she counter sued him for $100 million, right? So his claim was that he never did any of those things to her. He never laid his hands on her, but it was the opposite. She had actually hit him repeatedly and had physically abused him throughout the relationship. So it was one of those where I was like, okay, now he said, she said, I'm
She
not sure
probably
he'll
liked
listen
it till
to.
they got divorced.
And then so then I've been listening to the trial over the days, and I'm like, I just need to see how this plays out, just to take figure out who do I think is telling the truth. But it doesn't look good for Amber, I'll tell you that much. She has had some people who came to her, not defense, what do you call it,
Like a
against
character
her,
witness.
stuff like that. And the things that people were saying it's just not. It's like there was this one person who was her assistant back in the day before she got married,
Mm-hmm.
who was supposed to be a good call for her. He didn't end up that way at all. at all. And it's not like she bashed Amber Heard. She was, because she seemed very objective to both sides. But the stuff that she did have to say about Amber Heard were horrible. And I was like, I think she's regretting calling her as I don't know if it was a character witness, but as someone to help her testimony out, because it didn't look that way.
So she thought that she had done good by her assistant, and then if the
Yes, but her
assistant
assistant,
said, "Nah,
she was
bruh."
like, "You got in my face and you spit in my face. You didn't want to pay me. You belittled me. You berated me. You made me feel like I was nobody." And then the lawyer was like, "But you sent her texts that were like, okay, love you, hun, bye." And she was like, "I was just placating. She's my boss. What was I supposed to do?
Man,
Like, would you do that?"
that's the ultimate when you spit on somebody's face because they spit on Jesus. That is
I'm with you,
that is
Sandy.
like, oh my
I'm with
God.
you. I do. And I tell my kids that, since they were little, I'm like, you don't ever spit on another human being, no
Like-
matter what, ever.
Like, I will go freaking psycho on you if no.
I agree with you, Sandy. I feel like it's one of the worst things,
Yeah.
like, anyway.
You
So,
can say see you.
right.
You say to me, but you throw in some spit on that.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
over for
It's
you.
like
I will
red-
look good in
red
orange
goes over
today.
all of a sudden. When they say, they ran into my knife 50 times.
Yes.
That's what happens. Okay.
Yeah, that is.
Oh.
So it was a pretty, after I heard her testimony. So I heard her testimony. I heard the doctor's testimony for Johnny Depp. So celebrities actually hire these doctors on a retainer, like they do a lawyer, all year. And then when they need their assistance, they come hand and foot for whatever they need, ever. So the doctor's testimony wasn't so much as against Amber Heard, but Johnny Depp, I got a little bit more respect for Johnny Depp because he had described at least one time, there were probably two times, where he was trying to get help out of the public eye and had reached out to this doctor and was like, I need to get sober, detox from drug opiates, and had a little island. I mean, went through the whole process to really try to get clean on his own, not because it was court ordered or because the public saw him, just went on it on his own. He didn't successfully complete it though, because of quote unquote some things that happened between Amber Heard and he, where she was beating him and stuff. And so it didn't, anyway, it hasn't been a crazy testimony, but listening to it all, I'm kind of like, I'm trying hard not to side with anyone and just see what's coming
You're
out.
trying to be a partial juror.
He's trying to be Switzerland.
I'm trying. Well, I'm not gonna lie, the people who keep coming up to testify, it's like, yeah, Amber, you really don't sound like a good human being.
No, that's kind of her consensus reputation around Hollywood, even before Johnny Depp brought it up, and that probably is what gave him, the courage to say, because some people do a good job of hiding it, having those double lives, and some people don't, like Harry Weinstein and Harvey Weinstein. I'm not trying to compare her to him, but nobody was like, no, he's really a good guy. And when the fit hits the shan, you kind of, if you're the person that kind of feels comfortable in that bad guy role in your real life, it's pretty easy to get people to say, yeah, no, she's not a good person. So, whether she beat him or not, which is increasingly look like she did, there's
It really
no
does.
dearth of people who will come and say, yeah, she wasn't a good person.
So yeah, and so that was some of the other stuff that in her previous relationship, there was some what do you call it? There was some allegations that she had beat her who she was in a relationship with previously, but Tesla guy, what's his name?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is actually coming to her defense and is saying
Because he wants to get beat up. Or he doesn't want to get beat up.
he's saying she hasn't, that's not her.
Are
who
they
she
dating?
is. So there
No.
is a the idea is that they may have dated at one point.
Listen, I'm not gonna beat up where I get my money. Okay, I mean, let's just put it right on out there.
So I did think this was interesting though. So it was on Friday. So Amber Heard is dating this woman now. She's a journalist, right? So during the course of the trial, at one point, everyone in the front row on Amber's side, she has friends and her girlfriend and other people who are up there. The judge says everyone needs to get back to the back. That first row is supposed to be for litigation people, like the paralegals and all that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
So people are going to help the lawyers out. But the family ends up taking that spot. So the judge tells them to go back. Well, the girlfriend decides not to and sits up there still, right? She's a reporter, it turns out. So she's live tweeting stuff about the trial while it's going on.
Boy.
But at one point, when they're interviewing one of the witnesses, and the girlfriend, she hands something to the lawyer. The lawyer looks at it, kind of does a little conversation, turns around to Amber, looks at this, does a little conversation, brings it back. Then they get up and go to the judge and say, "Can we approach the bench?" They found out in the court papers that were released, someone, did a, what do you call it? Freedom of Information Act or whatever. So they got the court documents to show what was in there. And basically someone on the reporter had brought attention to the witness who had just posted up an Instagram picture saying about the trial that Johnny Depp is exonerate him or make him go free, whatever kind of words like that. So they showed a picture of Johnny at the trial with this little thing from the witness. Judge looks at it and is like, "Okay, we need to get rid of that. Go ahead and go." But I also want that lawyer, the reporter, she's out of here forever. No more. She can't return back. Well, then they analyze the tweet later on and find out the reporter had taken a picture of the tweet, cropped out the date and time off of it, basically fabricated it there in the
Courtroom.
in the courtroom.
What a bitch.
And if you looked at the date and time of the picture of Johnny was from the divorce court between Johnny and Amber. So from 2016, 2018, whenever the divorce was finalized in the
she
UK.
get fined and held in contempt? Anything?
This just got released today. They just found out that all this stuff had happened.
Wow,
They're
she
like, whoa.
just fabricated a whole.
So I was like, okay, now that
how's
was.
that gonna look?
It doesn't look good.
Amber needs to go beat her up.
You should see the video though. As the
Amber
people
is
have
like,
been.
Well, you know what time it is.
She's like,
You done messed up now.
Oh my gosh.
oh man, but it was insane. Like hearing this one guy talk about it. So I've watched the actual trial, but hearing this guy talk about it and zooming in on it and stuff, it was like, oh dang. You're like, oh snap, someone's in a lot of trouble. And it's funny because the lawyer for Amber Heard keeps saying, "Well, Your Honor, I can't speak to that. I don't know about that." And she's like, "What do you need to speak to? I'm telling you this. This is what's on here. This is what you didn't show me. She cannot come back in here. That's the least what's going to happen to her."
Please keep us updated. Now I'm intrigued. Not intrigued enough to do my own homework, but just so that you can tell me.
So, and I have been listening to hours of the. I don't know why I'm not interested in Johnny Depp or Amber Heard or celebrities. I was literally just interested in a court proceeding just to see how it goes, and it's not disappointed yet. So,
Well, nobody has been killed yet, so that's why.
I mean, it could change tonight.
That's why Sandy is like kind of interested. Somebody is dead.
Somebody's gonna die.
As soon as someone does die.
Wait a minute.
Then I'm all up in there. Then I will be. You got that right. Thank you, Professor. Appreciate that.
Oh man. But anyway, my consent. I don't have a final consensus, but it is leaning heavily for Johnny Depp. It really is.
Professor, you need to watch The Girl from Plainville over on Hulu. I just started that.
So I have an antagonistic relationship with Hulu.
Do you?
Yeah.
If I knew what antagonistic was, I would too.
Well,
who's the antagonist? You or Hulu?
Hulu, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the protagonist. I'm just an innocent guy who's paying for stuff that I don't know. So I was like, why do we have Hulu and the Disney bundle, which comes with Hulu?
Inception Hulu.
Oh no, which one? Okay, well, let's cancel one of them. Okay, so they canceled one of them. Well, whatever they canceled was the one that I had the code to. So now I'm like, let me
Oh,
watch this on Hulu. So every time, and so my 14-year-old is gatekeeping me on stuff that I'm.
oh
Let,
no,
let me
no.
let me double. Didn't I send this to you? Like, who are you talking to? I'm paying for this stuff.
That's like my daughter when she got her Disney Plus subscription for Christmas, and it comes with like 4 or 5 users or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't want to share her username and password with mommy and daddy. And we're like,
Oh
what?
snap!
She goes, I just got to give one to Maddie, my best friend, and to
Oh,
Addie. And I was like,
oh, oh, oh yeah. We don't.
I'm sorry, you mispronounced
You're like,
mommy
I
and daddy.
didn't, I didn't
Yeah,
exactly.
there's nobody outside the house on that list. Well, nobody outside our family on that list. So,
Ooh, that
uh,
got me. It got,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. She was serious. Like, what are you talking about? Like, for like a couple of months, that it was like we were paying for the Disney bundle and Hulu separately, and I'm like, this is why I said all subscriptions should come through me.
right.
I
Because,
am the gatekeeper
well, I mean, because I was like,
or the
hey,
bill payer.
listen, they were like, oh, Hulu is on the Disney bundle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. It is. So yeah, that's the cause of the tension. So
I think the
now,
antagonist is the family, not Hulu.
Right.
no, I'm taking it out on Hulu because it makes me feel nervous when somebody says, as Sandy just did, watch something on Hulu. I don't have any confidence that I can go to any device or TV in this house. And that's the other problem. I have 12. Let me say this again because I'm not too proud, and this pisses my wife off, so I'm glad she's not watching. I have 12 TVs in this house.
Jeez.
Wow.
Wow.
Why so many?
I only have
Well,
11. No,
see,
no, I'm kidding.
I need a supporter. Well, first of all,
I
honey,
support you.
it's the TV's fault because they're so cheap and they last so long now. So, like some of the TVs are older than the kids, right?
Oh,
But
wow.
you can't throw them away because they still work and they still look new. Because what when when Sony used to have their fancy
TV
Sony
hoarder
design.
detected.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder because like if it still works, I'm gonna still use it. So, um, like when you have different areas, and then when you have, it's really Roku TV's fault because
Yeah.
when you have Roku, you can watch your cable on Roku. So I only have 2 cable boxes, and all the other TVs because you can have like 6 TVs
12. You
inside the
forgot how
house.
many. You have
Dreamy.
12.
So what? So you got the guest room, you got the workout room, you got the office, you got the bar. So you got to have a TV by the bar, like you're at a bar.
In Jamie's case, he has an alley, so he probably has 2 TVs down there in his bowling
Yeah,
alley.
and
So,
in his
oh,
elevator.
His elevator
you got to
has.
have a TV in but then I got a TV for the new deck.
She was
Oh, yes. TVs
I
in the
don't
bathroom
have
so
a
you can watch
TV in the
TV.
bathroom.
What? I can't. How do you have
You
12? then?
don't? He's like,
No.
yet.
I want well, I wanted one of those mirrors that you can turn the
The
TV
TV's
on.
like behind the
Yeah,
mirror.
yeah. But the bathtub is not big enough for me to take a bath on a consistent basis. So what?
First world problems.
That's what you need first. Then that's I
Right,
feel you. I
My
feel
right.
you.
TV has a TV.
My TV has no, but I mean, it's just like you got all these kids, and then now they're grown, so now their rooms are the bed like guest rooms, right?
Yeah.
So you
Right.
still have TVs in there. You have an eat-in kitchen. You got a TV in there, and then the bedrooms and yeah. But the Roku TVs make you able to have more TVs because if you get a smart TV,
Hmm.
you don't need a cable or anything. You just plug it
right.
up, and then you don't have to pay for anything.
We cut that cable cord several years ago and then just went to Hulu Live, and that's Hulu Live, Netflix, and Prime and Disney, and we're still paying less than what we were paying with cable. So
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, we cut the cord on a bunch of those. Like we were one of those people that had all the channels, and we cut that cord, right?
Yeah.
And
I think
so
I've been about 13 years without, 12 years without any cable.
So Jamie, who do we have coming up on Wednesday? I gotta go. We gotta wrap this up, man.
we got
Bye, Joe.
wrap this thing up. Wrap this thing up.
So on Wednesday, if you guys come back and join us, you're going to get to meet a famous chef by the name of Chef. It's funny. It's Cassandra Jones, but she goes by Casey. I think if I'm pronouncing it right, it might be
Casey or
Cassie.
Cassie.
I'm not sure. Cassy. What was that?
Cassie usually.
Okay. I was kind of hoping it was Casey Jones because that's the name of.
Oh, that's from
Joe.
the Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Yep. So that's what I was kind of hoping for,
I don't
but
even know
we'll
why I
see.
know that.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, the Casey Jones was the guy in the hockey mask.
And had the baseball. He had all the different sports
Oh.
things.
Yeah,
Sports sticks.
it was so funny. So anyway, she's going to be coming on Wednesday night. So she is known for because at the Texas State Fair in 2015, she became the first African American lady to win with her fried collard greens. Anyway, fried collard greens. You can catch her on the A&E show Deep Fried Dynasties right now. They're going to air their.
I watched that.
You watched that?
Yeah,
That's her.
I saw her. I saw her.
Yeah. She's the one.
I
She's
just saw her. Yes, that is her.
so she's going to be on the show on Wednesday. So they haven't finished the
I mean,
You
season.
have to
Tell
come
my
in
I
if
gotta
you want.
tell my wife.
If you want.
Yeah, you do. So there's 10 episodes to the season, and right now we're on either episode. Oh, I think tomorrow night we get episode 9, and the next week we'll have episode 10. I was hoping they were going to do like a double season, so we could watch the last 2 episodes before she comes on and ask her for any of the juicy bits on there, right? Fried beer.
It's not gluten free, so Eric's never had it.
If you guys got to watch Deep Fried Dynasties, there is some amazing. The people are fun, but some of the items are out of this world. Like I didn't ever think I wanted to try fried butter, but
Maybe
after
do
watching this
something else so
show,
we can watch it.
I want to try fried butter. Huh?
You guys will fry anything in Texas.
True.
I don't
Yeah.
understand what the
What's
problem
the
with
deal with that?
I mean, don't you? What is
So these are-
that? Is that
these
a
are her-
turnover?
No, these are her fried collard greens.
Oh.
They're in like she
A
bought
dumpling.
an egg roll, a dumpling machine in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're almost caught up too. Tomorrow night. Yeah, you are caught up actually.
I saw the one where she fired
the three
two
people.
people quit and
Don't
then-
ruin it yet. We're going to talk about it on the show. Okay.
Hush your
Ah.
mouth, Professor.
Oh.
He knows sports.
You know, sports and fried fantasy.
Listen. I watched. Yeah.
So, anyways, if you guys come back on Wednesday night, we're gonna hopefully everything will work out right where we can meet up with her and get her on the show, and we're gonna hear about how much money she makes in 24 days. She makes enough money for the year.
Yeah, that's the cool part of that. That's the
Yeah,
cool
I
part.
think it was like $75,000 or $80,000, and she only has 2 booths. I can't remember. Anyway, it might actually be $300,000 now that I think about it, but it's a ridiculous amount. I know that much for 24 days worth of business. Anyway, we'll hear more about it when she comes. And it's funny because on my Instagram, one of the other people on the show, they friended me on Instagram, and I was like, oh, these people want to. The people who made Jhmeid, the people who made the funnel cake chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah, I like that lady. I
So
thought that was a brilliant
they friended me
idea.
on Facebook
That
last
sounds
week.
good.
Oh, how sweet! Bless her heart.
Yeah, so I'm gonna maybe we'll see if they'll come on too and talk
Joanne
about
wants
their
to know
journey.
what collard greens taste like. I've had them before, but I think they have a very distinct flavor. I mean, it's not like you can say, "Oh, they taste like this."
Collard greens are good. So normally,
Yeah.
I don't know, Jhmeid, what do you make yours? But mine's usually we do butter, garlic, pepper, salt. I mean, we keep it pretty basic up here.
Typically in the South, we want to put some
And
kind
ham.
of meat in there, smoked meat to flavor it.
Mhm.
So it used to be like hog maws and stuff like that. Nowadays, it's more like turkey backs, turkey wings, and stuff like that. So I don't know. Let me see, Joanne. What would it taste like? It's it's something like
Maybe Fredericksburg, John? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's the only
Fredericksburg.
thing I could think is probably Fredericksburg.
I don't know. It's like our soul food. It's almost like a mole that everybody has their own take on it. It's like similar, but everybody has their own take on it. So
It's like what you would think like a green leaf would taste like.
There was a food truck here in town called Owen's Food Truck, and she made some delicious collard greens, but it was so good.
When I was younger, I did not like them, but as I got older, I do like them now.
Go to Fredericksburg. You'll love Lukenbach. It's so good.
oh yeah, I love.
Where's he going?
He's coming to Texas.
Yeah.
Where in Tech? I mean,
I don't know. I suggested Fredericksburg. He didn't
We,
specify.
we should have like
I think he goes to San
group show.
Antonio.
We should have a group show where we all go to the Texas State Fair together.
Ooh, let's
That
go.
would be awesome.
We are there.
I'm down. I could finally get my fried butter.
Fried butter.
It sounds gross. But look, on the show, they opened this fried butter, and oh my gosh,
It sounds.
Oh.
I mean, I would try it. I would try
at
it.
least once. It's like a little puff ball, and when you open it up, the butter literally spills into the bread. So it's like taking bread and just sopping it in butter. And ooh. Anyway, one thing I wanted to mention about Easter real quick. Because I was looking at different stores to go to and didn't realize it was Easter for all of these places, I found myself at the grocery store, at my favorite grocery store, to pick up a very special cut of meat that I ended up getting because I didn't know it was going to be on sale for Easter, but I got a rib roast for $6.99, and I was like, I'm just getting a small one, but I got it, and I was like, oh snap, I'm about to do a rib roast, not on Christmas time, and I'm really excited about it. So
Let's see it.
you'll see it. You'll see it. I'll bring it up
He's
next week.
saving
'Cause-
it for the show.
yeah. All right, everyone. Well, Jhmeid, thanks for coming to hang out with us
Thank you,
tonight.
Jhmeid.
Really
Good to
appreciate
see
you,
you.
man.
Thank you for welcoming me back home.
Yeah, and Sandy, there's a chance you may or may not be here on Wednesday,
May
right?
or may not, just depends. We're going to be on the road to Branson, and so that's a 10-hour drive for us.
Missouri.
Because that's a $1,300 flight per person round trip, and not trying to do that. Okay.
Well, either way, you'll definitely need to be safe since you'll be on the road. So make sure you get some pictures and videos for us to send us if you don't show up.
I will.
Okay?
Good night,
Good
John.
night, John Harville. And
night.
Joe, you'll be here on Wednesday too?
I believe I will. I believe.
I don't like when you say I believe.
Let me look.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now it's just going to be.
He's looking at his schedule.
Look
If
at my
Sandy's
schedule.
gone, that means he might be gone.
Yeah. I mean, you are welcome to join us on Wednesday if you can.
Yeah, my
Sandy
wife
looks
would
surprised.
love to watch me on the show because
You look surprised.
we've been watching that show. Yeah.
That's just my face.
Sorry.
Awesome.
All
All
right, everyone.
right. Good night, everybody.
We'll
Thanks for
catch you
tuning
later.
in
Have a
here.
good night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Jaime just disappeared on